Are you a parent who kind of deals with frustration and stress trying to get your kids to cooperate with you or trying to get them to do their homework or get off that video game? Everyday parents are dealing with what we're taught is normal behavior. And in fact, I saw a video on Instagram the other day and it said, if your kids are crying, whining, screaming, pushing your boundaries, well, that's their job. So you just have to learn to be a more patient parent. And we're here to say, no, that's not true. In fact, I discovered about 11 years ago, thank God, that there was a better way to parent, a brand new way to the world. We now have hundreds of clients all over the globe learning to speak kid, learning a more empowering way to be a parent. And I invited Julie on here with me. She's been a client for what, 2 or 3 months, Julie?
2.5 months. Yep.
2.5 months. So she's just brand new baby learning to speak kid with us, but you've seen some amazing changes already.
I'm Julie. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee, married for 23 years to a wonderful husband. We have 4 children, 3 teens, 18, 16, 15, and then we have a little guy in grade school who is in 6th grade. So he is 11. I work as a nurse, a school nurse, and also I work at a health and wellness clinic.
Wow. Yeah, I just learned that you were a school nurse, I think, when you were sharing your story with me yesterday. So I think that's pretty amazing. So you see a lot of kids that are dealing with anxieties, depressions, bullying, labels coming out of the wazoo, right?
Absolutely. It's incredible. And what I've noticed is how teachers and parents, when they come into the school, respond to the kids. And, just from this program, there is a better way. There is a better way to respond to these kids to make them feel empowered. But we all always resort to what we know and how we were taught when we were raised. This course has really empowered my husband and I.
Well, why don't you share what your version is of what we've been taught as parents?
Wow. I could go on forever, but basically, Ed and I both just have parented the way that we were parented. There was a lot of dictatorship in the house, a lot of negotiating, bribery, bargaining, all of those things that my parents did with me and my husband's parents did with him. And that's all we knew. We didn't know what we didn't know. And it is literally taking us this long. My oldest son is 18 to search for other options. And I'm so grateful that we have.
Tell me, have you read any other parenting books? Did you watch Super Nanny? Were you trying to get onto the positive parenting train?
Yeah. I like to research everything, and having kids, different ages, grade school, high school, they all faced different challenges, going through different things through their life. And so when high school came, we did experience some struggles, power plays, and we were so unprepared. We did not know how to deal with those things. And so, again, we just resorted to our to-go-to, which was bargaining, negotiation, dictation, and it was not working. And so when we came across your program by researching, we just thought this is something totally different than what we have done before. We had spent so much money, about $30,000 in counseling and therapy for our kids, and they were all aimed to fix your kid. There was another parenting program that we tried, and it was a lot of dictation and a lot of how can you fix your kid. Nothing was really said about creating a positive environment and being supportive and guiding and showing your kids. When we had done the research, we just liked, my husband and myself, we liked what we read. We liked the words guiding and goals. And, I thought to myself, oh my gosh, my kid is 18. Does he really know what a goal is? And do I really know what a goal is? Privileges. What is a privilege? How do you earn privileges? There were so many things that resonated with who I was as a person and how I wanted our household to be but it wasn't like that. So it was pretty easy for us to want to join this program. Of course, we were hesitant at first because we've had tried other things. We've spent a lot of money. There's wilderness camps out there to send your kids to, lots of places to fix your kid, but in the heart of heart, that's not what we wanted to do.
What motivated you to find Creating Champions for Life? Because I feel like when we say, hey, there's a better way, that your kid's natural state of being is joy, that there is a way you can work in harmony. I thought when we started this program, I'm going to cry. Like 10 years ago, that the whole world would jump on the bandwagon, like, teach me how. And it's been a long struggle just to tell parents, like, hey, you know what? We're being led off a cliff. We're literally being led by wolves in sheep's clothing. I don't think they mean to, but like you said, trying to band-aid the symptoms of our kids' anxieties and pains and frustrations and screams, and teaching us that it's normal. Terrible twos, right? Yeah. Behavior disorders. And then just this morning, I saw an ad saying, hey, does your kid deal with anxiety and this and that? Come to mindful something and we'll teach your kid how to do this. And I'm like, why don't we get to the root of the problem so that the kids can authentically heal from the inside out? And then we don't have to spend a lifetime covering them with band-aids and medication and living in frustration. So I want you to share a little bit about when you first saw us, you thought it was cool, but you also said something like, oh, it just seemed too easy, or there was something like that was going through your mindset.
It seemed too easy because it just did. It seemed we get to do this. Mom and dad get to create an environment. Like, we should already know how to do that, right? But we didn't. And so that was the hard part, was resetting our thinking and how we were taught when we grew up. It seemed too easy, but because it seemed too easy, it seemed like, is this really going to work? But it does. Oh my gosh, it does.
Now that you're involved with the program, you're actually doing a 12-week intensive with us right now. And every week we get together, you have more aha moments. Looking at from the outside in, it's like, this seems too easy. But now that you're 2.5 months into the program and you're creating proactive plans, is it easy?
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I'm not going to lie. You do have to put in the work. You can't just, read the material and expect that everything's going to go as planned, because it's not. You have to put into the work. What I like about it is that, we have coaching calls. We have accountability calls. We have Zoom meetings. So we're all sharing. And that has been so extremely helpful to share with other parents and to just brainstorm what works, what doesn't work. And we have a plan. And the plan, once we have a plan in place, it's easy, but it's finding that plan and figuring out what works for your family. But once that's in place, it's doable.
Right, because we've been taught since the beginning of time that when your child does something, we must do something to discipline or to punish them. Literally in 1 Thessalonians, and this isn't a religious talk or anything like that, but in the Bible, it very clearly says, do not approach wrong with wrong. Like, two wrongs don't make a right. If you want an eye for an eye until somebody dies, right? So this is literally what's happening inside the homes. We're doing an eye for an eye. And the children, well, I was going to say they're not dying physically, but they are, because the #1 cause of death for teenagers on a global scale is suicide. So they literally are. They're bringing guns to schools and shooting 25 kids and their teachers and their grandmas. I mean, everything has a root. There's a root cause to everything that's going on with our kids' emotional disorders, their behavior disorders, their mental disorders, mental health issues. Having 50% of young adults with mental health issues is not normal, but it's
Correct.
being accepted as being normal now. So this
Right.
is where my passion comes in, that it doesn't matter who listens or who doesn't listen. I think eventually you'll all see that there is a better way, that you do have power and control as parents to change things in the home. So with that being said, Julie, you've got plans in place. You're learning to be proactive. You're learning to speak kid. We're only on the fourth, just entering the fifth principle from 12 principles. Right. But what changes are you seeing in yourselves, in your home, with your kids so far?
I feel like we talked about in the very beginning, a truck lifted off. I'm accepting the fact that my children have free will, and we can present a plan. They have free will, whether or not they want to do what's on the plan or not. And I can't worry about them. This is their life. They can choose. And so for me, that's a big stress reliever. I was always thought that, gosh, we have to have a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant in the family. No, if they want to be a race car driver or work at a restaurant all their life, that is totally cool. As long as they love that, that is their goal. So some of the changes, I've noticed with me, less dictatorship, less bribery, less negotiating, and more of just responding in a guiding way and not restricting. And so, for example, my oldest son had called home from college and wanted to join a fraternity, and it was $650. And so the old me would have just written off a check for $650. And I didn't. We talked about ways to earn that privilege. And so now he is coming home on the weekends to work at the restaurant that he has worked at for over the summer. And he's working and he's earning his own money. And, I can see him just being proud of who he is, that mom just didn't write the check. And even though it is hard work, he does come home. He is working Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights. That's his choice, but he's earning that. And my daughter, she's a teen, she's 16, so she likes all the Lululemon. She likes all the, a lot of the brand name clothing. I would just write a check for that. Changing my wording to her in my, my responses, she knows that, hey, I have to work for this, and this is a privilege, and this is a good thing, and she's feeling good about herself.
Wow. I just want to bring a spotlight to, you've said it twice now with both of your kids, like you used to just write a check, so they would see you as their lifeline. Like, without mom, I can't do anything. So inside of their soul, they're kind of lacking some purpose and lacking some zest for life, basically. But you've said it twice now with both of your kids, that earning things makes them feel better about themselves.
Yes. Motivation. Totally. My husband and I were talking about that this morning. Is we've noticed that the past couple of years, the motivation for things just wasn't there. And I don't know why it has taken so long for us to realize, oh my God, it's because they have been given so much stuff. Stuff doesn't make them happy. We have a trampoline in the back. My husband built a play set. We have like a jumpy cord that he built. And what do? They're inside and they're bored. And so that just does not seem right. But we've noticed when they're actually working and earning things. My little guy who's 12 cuts grass, and he's saving up his money, and he feels good about that. Yeah, I never taught him how to do laundry before, and showing him, not teaching, that's the key. Showing him how to do it is so key.
Amazing. What's going on with your relationship with your kids and you? Are you noticing a shift of always seeing you as the enemy, and now they're closer? Are you already seeing a change?
So at first, when we started the program, we were using words like privilege and goal, and that was so foreign to them. And they would go around and sort of oh, mom, what's our goal today? What's the privilege? And, it was kind of funny. We made a joke about it. But no, it's becoming more standard, more routine, that mom and dad are sticking together. We are going to see this thing through, and things are going to change. And I see more confident kids already. I feel the trust that we had lost, we're slowly gaining back because they trust us. We are believing in ourselves as parents because we finally have a plan. We have a purpose, and that totally makes all the difference. We're trying to create an environment, one that they can thrive in.
Mm, one they can thrive in, not just survive in.
Yes, good. Yes, exactly. Yes.
And you too.
Right.
Like
Yes, it's
you look so peaceful and you look like a really happy mom.
I am very happy. There's so much less stress. I feel like I don't have to fix things and stay up at night worrying about their choices, because ultimately we can lay out the plan, but it's their choice, right? It's their choice. Let the emotion.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so freeing. I take a deep breath because like I woke up this morning and there was like a little bit like, oh, we're not doing enough to get our message out. And then I have to go back and I have to be this like, we have we have 12 of you who are now doing a 12-week coaching program with us. And I'm watching you literally transform before my eyes. And I know that every single one of your kids like literally have been saved from themselves and you've been saved from yourself because now you have a way to create proactive plans to empower them. And like we have free will as human beings. We get up, we work for a paycheck. We know that we have to get up and work for a paycheck if we want to pay our bills. That's the motivation. But we're not going to get up and go work a job because your husband says, "Oh, you're going to go sell shoes now. Like you're a school nurse. I don't like that. You're going to go sell shoes because I said so." That's not going to fly. You have free will to choose. And
Correct.
yet we expect our kids to be a certain way, and we've been taught through Super Nanny to get on their level and
Yeah.
explain why they're being punished. And well, I had a conversation with my 10-year-old about it. And it's like every article under the sun, you can do your own research on this, will tell you that children don't even have the physical capacity to think abstract until at least the age of 12, maybe not even till like they're 13 or they're a teenager. And so this whole idea of like lectures and trying to teach through words and telling our kids to clean up their bedroom or sit straight up in a chair without taking the time to literally teach them each thing individually. Share about your aha moment when it comes to teaching life skills.
First we show them. Okay. So, like for JoJo with laundry, he's our 11-year-old. I, in the past, would just say, okay, go do the laundry, go fold the clothes, and expect that he would know how to do that. And then get so mad and start yelling because he doesn't know how to fold the clothes or put them away. And I could not understand why does this kid not know how to do this? Well, gee, I never told him.
Like when I met Thomas, my kids were 6 to 12, and I didn't even ever think about teaching my kids how to make juice, how to cook for themselves, let alone how to do laundry. I felt, and I was taught, as we all are, that if you're going to be a good mom, that means to be, do, and have everything for your children, be their chauffeur, their maid. You have to buy everything for them. Who do you think benefits from us parents being taught to lavish our kids with attention and material things? Is it the kids or is it the companies?
Company, yeah, it's totally not. It's not mom and dad. It's not the companies, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's what we were trained, right? I mean, we didn't know any better. We thought buying things was the answer. Let's just fix them.
Powerful. Okay, so if you could say anything to a mom that was looking at creating champions for life, going, "Gosh, I'd love to be able to have harmony with my kids, and I'd love to be able to help my ADHD or ODD or anxious kid become healthy." What would you say to the moms out there?
I would say do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Like I said, we have researched, we have done other programs, but just do it. Time is running out. We've already got a 15, 16, and an 18-year-old. Just jump in and do it. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. It's so positive and transforming. I'm not just feeding you a bunch of fluffy words, but it has worked for our family in a short amount of time. And I can see changes in my kids. And it's very emotional for me that we finally have something in place in our home that's working. And when our kids are happy, my God, we're happy. That's all we want as parents, right? That's all we
Yes.
just, do it. It's working. It's working.
Ah, what a breath of fresh air. You're amazing. I'm so proud of you and your family, and you're such go-getters. Like, you joined the program and like within a week you were like putting everything together. And I was like, oh my gosh. We need to work with these people. You've just done an amazing job, Julie, and your husband is just so fantastic as well. But I just want to say too, like, if you're a single parent, I started this program as a single mom of 4 kids who all had behavior disorders. My home completely transformed within about 6-month period of time. I did a massive amount of research, like what other parenting philosophy out there is teaching parents to help their children set goals and create plans. And after 6 months, I couldn't find anything. Every single parenting being taught out there is based on theories. It's based on like what doctors think, and none of it based on principles. If there was something like Creating Champions for Life, I would have preferred just to study the program and learn it and raise champion kids, but there wasn't. So here we are, Tom and I, just working every day to bring you this powerful message. If you're wondering, like, how do I get started? Go to learntospeakkid.com. From there, you'll be invited to join us in a private Facebook group where you can ask questions, get coaching opportunities and some training in there, and just join a community of other parents that are looking for a way to create harmony in their home. Julie, thank you so much for joining, for your time today. I know you've got lots of stuff going on.
Thank you.
I think this was fabulous. You're a fabulous person to interview. So thank you so much.
Thank you. It was so much fun. I appreciate you doing this and just having this program. This is life-changing, very life-changing, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
So do you want to do a traditional Creating Champions for Life exit?
Absolutely.
So until we meet again, here's to our parenting success.
Yay!
Bye for now.